Beautiful people, you're welcome to the channel. My name is Odunayo. I am a public health specialist and I anchor this platform. In today's video, we are going to be discussing about how to handle painful periods. What are the issues that comes with painful period, just like I gave in the little intro. Now, painful periods are usually pains that comes before, during or after your period, and it is usually called dysmenorrhea. And it is any kind of pain that interrupts your daily activities or probably gives you a sleepless night. Unlike every period, painful periods can be caused by multiple factors. It could be uterine fibroids, it could be endometriosis, adenomyosis, ovarian cysts, uterine polyps. It could be caused by PCOS and so many other factors, that are hormonal. And unlike popular belief, or what we ladies or women have been made to believe, that painful periods are normal, I want you to know today that painful periods is actually not normal and it should not be. So if you have this condition, it is better that you seek medical attention. And I would also like to issue a disclaimer that this video is not to override whatever your doctor has prescribed for you. I'm just going to be sharing with you tips and tricks on how to handle painful periods if you do have one, or if you usually have one. So one of the things you can actually do is the use of eating pad. Now, eating pad simply means eating pad that you could eat up and put on your tummy. You place it on your pelvic region, and it could even come in any other form. If you don't have eating pad, you can eat up your towel, put it on your pelvis, or you use maybe hot water, you put a towel in it, you use it to massage your pelvis and all that. And then you can do tummy massage also. It reduces painful period. And when I mean tummy, is not the whole of your tummy, I mean your pelvic region. You could do pelvic, you could massage it to relieve the pain. You have to take a lot of rest also. That's one of the things you have to recommend. You take a lot of rest so that it helps your body to function and at least be at peace. You can take hot shower, you can take hot water. There is something that I usually do that I also prescribe, is the use of ginger and cloves. You can usually just ginger and cloves, you can grate your ginger, add some cloves in it, and then you pour hot water in it. You allow it to simmer, and then you drink the hot water. You can do this about 2 to 3 times in a day, depending on how severe the pain is, because ginger and cloves are anti-inflammatory and they will really help you to reduce your pain, instead of actually popping all these non-steroid anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen or Felvin. I'm going to make a video very soon on maybe the next video will actually be on the impact or negative effect of these non-steroid anti-inflammatory drugs in the body. So sometimes it is not advisable that it is your first go-to solution. Another thing you can be looking at is actually, which is something that I practice, is wearing socks at home. That is, instead of walking barefooted, especially when your house is tiled or when the floors are cold, you can just wear a warmer or a socks, or probably wear something that will keep your feet warm, because actually the temperature of your uterus is actually the temperature of your feet. You can ask any medical practitioner. So if your feet is cold, then most likely your uterus might get cold, and because it helps to elevate and reduce this inflammation and the contractions that causes pain. So you can just try to keep your feet warm, especially when you are getting towards your period, when you're having it, and maybe a few days after, so that you don't get to have pains also after your period. Another major thing that we are going to go into now is your diet. And when I mean diet, it means what you eat. It majorly depends on what you eat. What I would recommend, because I don't want this video to be too long. Number one thing is that you should reduce sugar, reduce carbohydrates in your food, and reduce processed food. All these things is just majorly to reduce sugar and to reduce toxins in your body. Now, the best way to do this is to ensure that you don't take any form of soda or any form of sugar throughout your cycle. If it is possible, you can just cut it off your diet. And if you cannot actually cut it off your diet, just ensure that you don't take it maybe probably a week before your period, you just stop it immediately after ovulation, and then you can start taking healthy foods like broccoli. You can start taking anti-inflammatory foods like almonds and nuts. You can chew on almonds or snack on it. You can make almond milk instead of taking the regular, milk and yogurt. You can switch to almond milk. You can switch to coconut milk and some other things like that. It helps your body just to find healthy alternatives for the kind of all these processed and whatever food that we. And then you can usually ensure that you take food that are rich in zinc and magnesium. You can take it as supplements. You can take magnesium supplement. It reduces period pain. For medical solutions to painful periods, you could be looking at taking over the counter medications, just like the non-steroid anti-inflammatory drugs, usually called NSAID that I mentioned earlier. We have the likes of ibuprofen, we have the likes of Felvin and some other drugs in that class. They inhibit prostaglandin that causes this uterine contraction that makes you have menstrual cramps and all. They are good for it, but the best way to use this is that you don't just start using it when you start feeling the pain. You start using it probably 2 days before your period, and then you use the normal dosage, the normal recommended dosage. You can just read the leaflets, or you talk to the chemist or your doctor before you take it. You use the recommended dosage probably 2 days before your period, such that this drug builds up in your blood. It builds up in your system, waiting for the pain to come, and then it attacks it. If you really wait for the pain to come before you start using it, it takes a while for the drug to build up, and because you cannot usually go above the recommended dosage because of the implication, you might have to manage the pain for maybe a day or two before you start getting relief. But when you start it, prior to it, it is better. And then also you might have to take injections if you get to go to the clinic. There are injections and some other medical options that you have. But the best way to actually treat painful period is to treat the cause. If it is fibroid, you take away. You have myomectomy to take away the fibroid. If it is uterine polyps, you remove it. If it is, those are the best things. Just look at for the medical treatment for this condition that is actually causing you the menstrual pain. That is the best medical treatment that you can go for. But before then, you can still, bank on the tips and tricks that I gave to you earlier, using eating pads, wearing socks, changing your diet, and some other things that you have mentioned earlier. And if today is your first time of coming across this channel, please do well to subscribe to this channel. Click on the subscribe button. We bring beautiful content to you, and then they are very educative, and you will be so glad to be a part of this community. So click on the notification bell so that you can get notified of our new content. And if you are a returning subscriber, I love you so much. Thank you for always coming back.